Okay then, welcome back. Now, Monimoto wireless tracker security system. I'm sure you've seen it on YouTube already. We were sent one with a very polite request, would we like to review it? So I said yes, I like security systems, especially something that is easy to fit, affordable to buy, and simple enough for me to understand. So let's show you what this little item is all about. Okay, seriously, we had a viewer of ours, and you know who you are, so thank you very much up front, first of all, who went to Monimoto for us on our behalf without being asked and said, please send one of these to Delboy's Garage to review, because I think you'd like to look at it and see it. And so thank you again for that. And the guys at Monimoto did just that. They contacted us, said, would you like one of these? We'll send it to you for review. Now, we do get things offered to us almost on a weekly basis, as any of you out there that make videos will already know that you do. YouTube is an enormous advertising harvest fest at the moment. All the advertising companies out there are trying to use YouTube creators, and it's a good thing if it works, but we, who are the creators, we have to be careful we don't end up profiling just about everything that comes along. However, this is motorcycle security, and I was keen to have a look at it for myself, and if I believed, in my view, that it was a goodie, would show you and share it with you, because I believe too. There's a couple of things that I think are excellent about this, and they are just the price and the simplicity, because that for me is what I like the most when it comes to alarm systems and wiring and all things electrical. So let's have a look inside the box. Okay, so that's what's in the tube. You've got a little disc which gives you the link to the tube, or to the app, which is either for Android or for iPhone, whichever you have. A couple of cable ties, the reusable ones if you need to move it from one bike to another. A fob, which is all important, you need the fob, and the unit itself, plus this little set of instructions. In fact, the instructions are just these pictures on the front. All the rest of it, all the writing on this, is the terms and conditions and guarantee stuff in 12 different languages, so you don't have to sit and read that either. It is so simple to set this up. All you basically need to do, I'm not going to show you chapter and verse like the other channels have done on how to set this up, but the basics are honestly child's play. Take a screwdriver, flip the little fob open like you do anytime. I mean, we've all got fobs for all sorts of things, haven't we? Alarms, your garage door, everything. When the battery goes, it's as simple as that. Flip it open. Inside there is the little coin battery, and it has this piece of card which keeps the battery out of contact. So you just pull that out and that activates the battery. I'll do it later because I'm not going to set this up tonight. And once you've taken that out, snap it back together. Job done. And the same goes for the unit. Just pull it apart. There it is. And this runs on camera batteries, the 3-volt lithium camera batteries. There's 2 of them in there. And again, they're kept out of contact just by this little tab. Pull that out. That then activates the unit itself. It's got a couple of rubber O-rings around there. It's a real tight fit. Line up the little arrows, there it is, and then snap that back together, and that's that activated once you've pulled them out. So once you've literally untabbed both of those, that's then activated, ready to use. You then download the app, follow the instructions, and it is ready to rock and roll. As simple as that. It couldn't be easier. Okay, so limitations and advantages of this particular system. First of all, the limitations. I felt that I wanted to know and ask some searching questions of Monimoto myself, so I called them up. They're in Lithuania. I had a conversation with them on the phone and asked a few questions. And one that I asked was, how far does the fob and the unit have to be apart before it sends a signal to say that your bike's been lifted? And they said to me, 100 meters, believe it or not. That's quite a distance. If you think about it, if it's outside your house and somebody starts to tamper with it, 2 seconds of continuous movement is enough to set it off, but not if the fob is in range, because it thinks it's you about to go to work. So it's not going to set it off and send you the alarm. So it has to be 100 meters apart for that to happen, which means by the time your bike has gone 100 meters down the road, you've got a little bit more of a task getting it back. You're probably not going to get the chance to get out there to stop it being stolen, because it's not going to tell you it's being stolen until it's 100 meters away. So I think that's a bit of a limitation, but that's the way it works. That's the way the system works. As far as the tech is concerned, it's good quality, everything works. It's just a limitation of this system, the way it's set up. It has to be quite away from the bike before the fob detects that it's gone, sends a message to your phone, and then it gives you the GPS signal to exactly where it is. There's the other thing. I asked them about proximity. How accurate is it? If that's been stolen, you've had the alarm, you've got the map on your phone telling you where it is, you've pinpointed it, how accurate is that? And they said, if it's in open air, like a field or an open street, to within 1 meter, it will tell you to within 1 meter from where that is. That's the accuracy of GPS. I think that's just general. But obviously what they said is if it's in a van or a steel container or a heavily reinforced concrete garage or an underground car park, then it's going to be a lot milder. That's going to go on the GSM signal, which will locate it to a rough area. Then you can start hunting for it because you know it's roughly where you are. But honestly, if it's accurate, clear line of sight, as they say, to within 1 meter, and that's all very good. Again, it has to go off first for that to happen. So lots of good points about it as well. And obviously, the other side of it is limited, like all GPS is. If you're going to fit this to your bike, one of the places that I hear lots of people put trackers is inside the airbox. Now that's very cunning. I like that because it's inside a place where the average thief's not going to look. They might look under the seat, they'll look in the fairing, they might take the fairing off, looking behind the headlight. Yeah, but are they actually going to strip the top off the airbox and start looking under the air filter? Probably not. However, there is a problem with that. If you're going to put this inside an airbox, you're then going to put the tank on. Once you put the tank on top of the airbox, you put a steel cover over your tracker, and that will impede the signal. So as much as that's clever, and I hear other people do it, personally I'd never put a tracker in my airbox because it's going to have the signal impeded by the fact you've encased it in steel. So wherever you choose to sight this, on your motorcycle or scooter, make sure that it's going to get a clear signal out, either under a side panel, under the seat. A clever place that I've seen and I've heard of people using is inside the seat foam. If you look at any motorcycle seat, turn it over, there are air gaps under there for the ventilation. If you can cut a slit in that and make a little hole with your finger, you could slip that inside the seat foam and then nobody would know where it is. It's just about being creative. If you've got a scooter or something, you've got all that scooter bodywork. Remember, if it's a Vespa that has steel bodywork, you've got to think of that. If you're going to put it up inside that steel bodywork, you're going to impede the signal. So that, I think, isn't just an Achilles heel of this tracker, but any tracker. It has to have a clear line of sight for a GPS signal. We all know that. So that's the only downside I can see, but then that's the downside of any GPS. It's not something you can blame the Monimoto for. Personally, what I like about it the most is that it's wire free. You don't have to wire it in. You don't have to pay somebody £100 to hardwire it to your bike. It's portable. If you've got more than one bike, you can move it between each bike. If you're going to borrow someone else's bike, you can fix it into their bike while you're using it. If you're going to rent bikes, hire a bike, or even hire a car, whatever it might be, that is going to be a great way to tell if anybody's trying to lift it. Simple. And the other side of it, of course, is the price. I think that's the best of all, and I wanted to finish on that. The price of this, £150. That's it. And that's all in. There is 2 months free on the SIM card. After that, I think it's £25 for a year, and that covers the whole of Europe, so that will be a quarter of the price of normal monitoring, and I think that really makes it affordable. Because think about it, it's Christmas present money, isn't it? If you've got a youngster in your life with a 125 or a scooter, or even if yourself or anybody you know that's on a budget and you can't afford £500 for a tracker system, you've got this. This isn't going to stop your bike getting stolen. Only a hard lock is going to do that, or a garage door that's bulletproof, but seriously, it will give you that extra layer of cover and half a chance of getting it back. Because here's one thing, I found this out as quite an alarming and damning statistic about the current state of scooter crime, especially in London. And that is that a lot of stuff that's getting stolen, especially for younger riders, they're not claiming for it. Because it's actually cheaper to go out and buy a new bike than it is to pay for the next year's insurance. Because if they claim for the stolen scooter, their insurance gets cancelled at that point because it's a total loss claim. Then the new insurance, having had a total loss claim on their record, is over twice as much, and it is over £1,000 now to insure. And so some of the kids in London are paying £2,500 to £3,000 to insure a 125 scooter. So obviously, to claim on it is going to cost them more than to just go and buy another one, which means that the ability to get it back, to go and recover it, is priceless, and certainly worth 150 quid. So if you're looking for a Christmas present idea, that's why I wanted to pitch this and share it with you. 150 quid is quite a lot of money. Still, if you haven't got a lot of money in your life and you're on a budget, maybe club together with other people, because it's a worthy purchase, something that will save potentially an awful lot more heartache if your bike does get nicked. I absolutely love it. Now, I'm not going to bore you with telling you how to set the app up. You can go along and check it out yourself. There's loads of videos telling you how to do it, chapter and verse, and even, actually, I'd recommend go on Monimoto's own website, and it gives it absolutely blow by blow how to set up the app. I'm not going to bother with that now because I'm not going to do this yet. But I've got the Triumph Tiger. That is a vulnerable bike. I found that out when I came to insure it. Oh
Yeah,
my goodness. The Triumph Tiger was a third more to insure than any other bike I've got. Even the modified Street Fighter costs less to insure than the Tiger. It's an off-road bike. So if you've got off-road bikes, if you've got adventure bikes, anything like that, something like this will really help you. And as I said, the final word goes to where to put it on your bike. Be creative. Don't hide it under metal. Don't encase it in metal. Don't go putting it in your expedition luggage, because obviously that's a solid metal box and you won't get a signal out of it. Use your common sense, put it somewhere where it's going to give you the best possible service. And test it, do some checks on it, make sure it works best for you. So that's it. That is our take on the Monimoto motorcycle wireless tracker. Nice piece of kit and certainly good value. So join us in the week for a clutch change on the Street Fighter. Take it easy, ride safe. Last word to you, Pen?
Have a secure Sunday.
I like that. See you next time.